Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This thing hasn't fixed itself yet. And in fact, I found another leak up here somewhere. I'll have to raise the loader up and flip the hood, look around in there. But I have my solution for that line. Here it is. It's the original one. Had it welded. I don't know if you can tell, it was stressed right here. He welded that up. And then this was actually the part that was supposed to be on here, but since somebody already put the wrong hydraulic hose on, I just took this male-to-male adapter, bored it out a little bit, and had him welded on there. A local guy, TIG welded that on there for me. I'm not really worried about looking nice or anything, I just wanted some paint over those welds. Well, today is a couple days later than when I painted this. And I haven't test fitted this yet, but we, after that other day, we had some cold weather come in, and we got ice and snow again, and now it's all gone. It's a touch cool out today, but kind of want to get this thing put back together. See how it fits in here. Snug this up a little bit so it doesn't escape when I wiggling it around. These hold downs have square headed bolts in the back side. They slip in slots. Bolts are only so long, and you got to hold some pressure on the tubes to try to get them to go in there. I'm going to try it back and then nut off and a little more. There we go. Tighten that up a little bit before it decides to fall off. Well, it looks like this welded one's gonna work. Just enough room up there. Everything looks about right down here. I didn't think I put them that tight. Should be good enough to make it hard to get off next time. Okay, that line goes about like that, and we got to stick this clamp in. I'm gonna go look and see if I have a bolt like that. Highly doubt it though. I dug around for quite a while for a bolt. As you can see, the sun has went down some. I couldn't find one. So I made a 6.6 flat bolt into a square using the welder, the grinder, Dremel, the surface grinder. It is not pretty, but it will help hold that line better than no bolt at all. I'll get these started loosely and get that other one started before I reefer down. That wasn't that bad at all. Get this one about right where it used to be. Can get this feller hooked back up. I'll most likely be repositioning this hose, but for now it's gonna go about like that. Try to get this heavy cylinder back up into its home. This thing's pretty massive, and it's just, there's a lot bigger cylinders out there than this. Greasy. In case you guys are wondering, I did try the bucket and I did readjust that hose some before I slid the cylinder in, as I figured this wouldn't be very much fun here. one in there. I almost forgot that I had this internal snap ring pliers that I bought after doing the PTO. It isn't what you're supposed to use for this, but my one that goes in the holes isn't good enough. And it appears I struggle just as bad with this. These are some big clips, so they come bigger. Got it on the run now. Might be able to tap it into place. There we go. That one's done. Now I should be able to start this thing up and slip that ahead. Just jiggle it into place. Probably too much. There we go. I'm gonna put a little tension on there so I can get the snap ring on. That should be plenty. Look who showed up. He heard the backhoe start. Thinks he has to go for a ride. You can holler for him and holler for him, and he's nowhere to be found. But you start up the backhoe and he's right there. If you guys want to critique me on my snap ring skills, go ahead, show me a video where you do these better. These aren't always very much fun. The bigger they are, I think the worse they are. Bending the pins on my snap ring pliers. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we just gotta get this big guy in place. If I'd be doing this in the shop, I could use a cherry picker to help me out. But I gotta drop this, extend it out like this to get into the shop, because my door isn't high enough. Why didn't it come apart like that? These are supposed to be the fancy rubbers that are like 2 layers thick that are supposedly unterrible. Beautiful, beautiful. It's on there. There we go. It is all back together. Really tore that glove up. Okay, let's see how this thing works now. Stay. I'm gonna suck the hole in. Gonna put it out. Nothing catching so far. Try the bucket. I already tried this, but that's all working. Well, job looks good. Set that right there for now because I might look at a different bracket for the hoses. Oh, we gotta raise this loader up. Found a leak on the front somewhere. There's a safety latch right there. So this is one of those pins where you flip it like that and you can pull it out and you just put it back in. There you go. Open the hood on one of these, you flip this lever, that pops up. There's Should be a little bolt there or something to keep that spring from just shooting all over. And this one's missing the cable. It's broke. So watch when you flip these up. I got oil here. Feels like it's coming out of a fitting here. I have a bad feeling about that fitting. This is the oil reservoir. I'm pretty sure this is all full of oil in here because this frame rail is all welded solid here. So I think is what's going on is that fitting right there is probably the suction line or return line or something for the hydraulic system. This 580 Super K, this runs a 4390, and it is basically the same engine that I have in some of my vehicles. 4-cylinder Cummins. This has a different injection pump on than what are in my vehicles, but essentially the same thing. Not sure how well this will show up for you, but there's where it was leaking. I originally thought it was a fitting on the bottom, but it was actually the suction hose for the hydraulic pump on the top. That's the main suction line for the pump that drives off the front of the crankshaft. Right over there. And that clamp was loose. The one closest to the right. I tightened it up some and see how it was wiggling on the aluminum housing for quite a while. So hopefully this takes care of it. Well, now I think I'm gonna try to rinse this thing off best I can. Squirt a little soap and degreaser on some of it before I start and get after it. Well, I washed it inside and out. Got to go over the windows with some glass cleaner now. Didn't do too bad of a job cutting through the little bit of dusty grease that was on the engine. Cleaned it up a little bit. Even took a little bit of the grease off back here. No hot water on that little guy. Can't expect a whole lot. I'd like to get myself a bigger pressure washer with hot water that would cut through this stuff a lot better. Well guys, it's getting windy out. I'm a little wet and I'm cold. I'm gonna go throw some grease at this thing and call it a day. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. In a future video I'll take care of that cylinder and try to figure out a better way with them hoses. I'm gonna have to really keep an eye on it for now. Take care and God bless. You wanna run 'em?